Welcome back to the Kunal Call. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Mustafa, for joining in over here. We're going to talk about cricket. We talk about
Thanks for
football a
having me.
lot and wrestling. No problem, man. It's always a pleasure. Man, a lot of things have happened in the past month in cricket.
Yep,
I've not been
a
active with
lot.
the podcast, but recently something that's happened that really shocked me. Like a tournament called PSL, Pakistan Super League. Apparently that's called.
Exactly. Yeah,
And
exactly.
I don't follow it. Like I have no
Yeah, of course.
interest in it, but I was really shocked at with the fact that it was cancelled. And when I
Yeah,
heard the reasons why it was cancelled, I was like, really? You are in a pandemic and you don't even take it seriously. So you're
exactly.
a Pakistani. You have been. It's your premium. What do you say? Brand in terms of like
T20
promoting
league,
cricket.
exactly. Yeah.
How do you feel, man?
Honestly, me just like every other Pakistani cricket fan feels shocked right now, and more shocked. I just feel let down, feel disappointed, feel like it's a huge blow for cricket in Pakistan in general, not just our league, because because cricket started to come in Pakistan because of PSL matches happening there.
Yeah.
When PSL started happening in Pakistan, like in 2017 when we held the final, 2018 when we held the playoff matches there, and then 2019 we held half of the PSL, and then last year we held the whole tournament over there. So that was like one of the reasons why cricket was slowly coming back. We had West Indies tours, we had so many other countries tours, we had Sri Lanka tours twice. We recently had South Africa tours, and now after this has taken place, I think teams like all these other countries will again like think twice before touring Pakistan when they see how like how like terribly we have dealt with the whole thing. What the hell was that?
That's my brother plays some game or something.
Well,
Hey,
that was our
PSL
reaction when that was our reaction when we found out too.
तेरी माँ की आंख.
Exactly.
but but seriously, as a fan of the sport, as a fan
Yeah,
of, because Pakistan is as passionate as India. Like there is, like when we
exactly. Yeah, crazy passionate.
yeah, when Pakistan lose to India, we see the crazy videos and stuff, like people throwing
Yeah,
TVs and destroying and becoming crazy. But like, yeah, I don't want to banter anyone, but when
of course.
this kind of thing happens and your board doesn't take responsibility for anything, like if you are
Yeah,
a board managing this, is like how IPL happened in Dubai, for example.
exactly.
Like
Yeah, that was
IPL,
a great way to
IPL,
hold it.
yeah, IPL happened in September and October, and everything was open over here, bro. Everything was happening. Like we were going to
Yeah,
pubs and we were going outside, but with restrictions. But they still didn't allow players to go out.
exactly. And that is the
And like,
thing. What
yeah,
happened with the PSL was that so basically so getting into what exactly happened. As you know, there are 6 teams in the PSL, and one of them is Peshawar Zilmi. Now, Peshawar Zilmi is operated by a manager called Javed Afridi, and he is someone who's like super close with all like the big Pakistani celebrities and YouTubers and all these kind of people. Recently this one girl got famous in Pakistan and in India who made a meme called Pari Oriye.
don't
And
don't start on that shit, man. I
dude, no,
get
no, 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 I'm not
irritated.
gonna start. I'm not gonna start. I'm not gonna start. But what I'm saying is that even she like became a part of Peshawar Zilmi. Basically, every big celebrity in Pakistan was becoming a part of Peshawar Zilmi.
Hmm.
And what the PCB had set rules for, they had set rules for the fact that each and every team is going to have like, I mean, it's going to have like a biosecurity security like yeah, a biosecurity bubble, which
Bubble,
is
yeah.
basically like every player's officials and all that, like everyone in the PSL can
Yeah.
only go to these places outside of their hotel, and they can't go like outside of it. Like they can only like visit certain places from their hotel,
Hmm.
and they can
Correct.
like go outside of like the security area.
Hmm.
So what Peshawar Zalmi did, they first of all they took this lightly. Second of all, they always like in every Peshawar Zalmi match you could have seen like celebrities just sitting like right in the dugout with the players, which is not a normal thing. Like in every other match you just saw the owner or the coaches or like the players and all that. But with Peshawar Zalmi you always saw like sometimes you saw like Mahira Khan, sometimes you saw like Shahid Joffrey, like all these big celebrity names just sitting in there in the dugout with the players and all that. So there was already a concern like they're having so many people sitting in a place at once. And then 2 players from that team, Wahab Riaz and Darren Sami. I mean, Darren Sami is more like a coach now than a player, but those two they breached
Yeah.
like the biosecurity rule. They went outside, and PCB didn't do anything about it.
Hmm.
I mean, like everyone knew that they actually like they breached like the biosecurity boundaries, but they didn't do anything about it. So when that happened, all the other players also did not take it seriously. The next thing you know, one player called Fawad Ahmed from Islamabad United would test positive. So they delay one of those matches to another day, and then on the next day, 7 people come positive, and that's it. The league is canceled or postponed right now, but we don't know if it's going to be like when it's going to be rechecked, when it's going to be rescheduled, or when it's going to be canceled. I mean, or if it's going to be canceled for sure.
Because the thing with being cancelled, it can't be played in September, October, November because the T20 World Cup is going to happen in India.
Exactly. Yeah.
That thing is full, so that space is filled. You can't do anything about it. You
Exactly.
guys
Yeah.
have Australia and England touring to Pakistan in
Yep.
after these months, and I'm like, see, first of all, they have shot themselves in the foot. The Pakistani
Yeah.
board and the team,
Exactly.
they're
Exactly.
completely shot because you look at India, for example. India had a big series against England, and
Yeah.
right now the test matches are just got over today, and they're
Yeah.
playing the ODIs in Pune, and there's no crowd over there because of the situation of COVID.
Oh, wow.
But the teams are respecting what is going on. They're like,
Exactly.
okay, you can't move, you can't here, you can't go there. Pakistan taking it lightly, have they actually now sabotaged themselves of actually having proper cricket again in Pakistan?
I hope not, but I honestly don't know as well. Looking at things, it might be, or it might not be. This might just be like a one-off event, and
Yeah.
because before this, like everything was being done properly. Everything was like,
Mm.
except for this one team, Peshawar Zolmi, who did the whole thing with celebrities and then we're breaching the whole thing. Except for this one team, like every other team was taking it like fully seriously. Everyone was in their hotels. They were not doing anything. And these same players, like a lot of these players, just recently played in the Sri Lanka Premier League a couple of months ago, and there the
Okay.
restrictions were even more, and they actually followed their restrictions. So when we saw that take place, then right after that, we saw the Big Bash League take place, and the players were restricted over there. So everyone thought the PSL would go just the way it is, but then again, like it gives us somewhat of a bad name that these two leagues just. I mean, yeah, first the IPL took place, and then the Sri Lanka Premier League took place, and the Big Bash League took place, and then now the PSL took place like right after that. So this kind of gives us a bad name that all three leagues which took place like right before the PSL, everyone followed the rules, everyone's sitting like stayed like restricted and stuff. But now when it comes to Pakistan and they don't do anything about it, then yeah, it might give us a bad name. It might even dent more chances of teams touring Pakistan. Like you said, England and Australia are going to come after this, and I hope they do come instead of looking at this and saying, well, probably it's better if you don't come. I hope that does not happen, but it might happen. There's a very good chance of that happening now.
Yeah, because what happened with Australia is like they cancelled the tour against South Africa in
Exactly, yeah.
February. Yeah, because they
Yeah,
were like
because
too concerned.
because a new strand of COVID was found in South Africa, so they
Correct. So
so
they
they
were like,
canceled that. So
so
yeah,
they risked it. They were like, we can't risk it. We have, or like, we need to take care of our players and their families, and that's completely understandable. If the board is not taking it seriously, why will they send their own players? And Australia is a big
exactly. Yeah.
series, man. Having
It's a huge
Australia and
series. Yeah,
Pakistan, England and Pakistan is a huge series.
yeah.
So I don't know exactly what's going on. I've been seeing Shoaib Akhtar videos and I've been seeing
Oh yeah,
Ravi Raja videos,
he just goes
but he's
off. Yeah,
speaking he's speaking a lot of sense. Like
yeah, he does. I know.
you can't just blame one guy who is the head of this, and you have to blame everyone who didn't follow the rules and the owners.
Exactly,
It's a
exactly. Yeah.
mess. It's a big mess. Um, that aside, I'm going to talk about India. Today
Yeah.
India won 3-1 against England in
Congrats
a
to you guys for
big.
the win. Huge win.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I really was scared after the first test. I'm not gonna
Me
lie.
too. Yeah, I was. I mean, after the Australia series, I was thinking it's probably gonna be 4-0 for India, confirmed 4-0. But
But
after
it's
the first
good.
test series,
Yeah,
I was thinking, yeah, what just happened? But yeah,
yeah. The
eventually we
first
saw
one,
India do that.
yeah, the first one was where Joe Root scored a double hundred and
Yeah,
India didn't show up. I think it was like, see, you talking about bubbles. I think the bubble got to their head, because
yeah,
they've been in the bubble since September, since IPL, bro.
yeah,
September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March, and IPL is going to come again in April. So they're in a bubble 24/7. They're not
yeah.
having any like rest, or there's
Exactly.
like
Yeah,
they can't even have fun. They can't go to the families and stuff like that. It's a very tough situation to actually be in, I would say.
yeah,
But we won 3-1, and I'm very happy with that. But obviously, there was a
of
lot of
course.
controversy regarding the pitch and all that
Yeah,
bullshit that Michael Warner was saying and all that stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Man,
They look.
you're a Pakistani, yeah, and I'm an
Yeah,
Indian, and our pitches are like we everyone know
exactly.
that
Yeah,
if we come to our grounds and if you come to our area, there's spin domination over there. So
exactly.
you should
Spin and batsman.
select
That's all.
yeah, you should select players who are good players of the ball of
Exactly.
spin
Yeah, yeah.
and get good spinners. So is it our
Exactly. Yeah.
fault that their batsmen are shit and
No,
their spinners are bad?
not at all. Again, not at all. First of all, like, don't even get me wrong. I don't like the Australian team, nor have do I like really respect. I mean, I do respect the talent of the players, but now I see why they call England the whining Tom. Because when
Yeah.
England play good, and because England have been playing great for the past couple of years, they've been number one in like all three formats. No one says anything about them. But the moment they come in, the moment like they start losing here and there, they either complain about sledging by the Aussies, or now they complain about the pitches and here and there. And Michael Vaughan has been abysmal. We've seen England do this in the past so many times. We've seen it with ball tampering with the Pakistani bowlers, and now the whole Indian pitches. We've seen them with with Muralitharan and chucking and all that. So it's
Yeah.
always like whenever like they do not. I mean, whenever like things don't go in their favor, they're always going to come up with excuses and stuff. And now I think with social media and stuff, with people like Michael Vaughan having a voice, and people like him and so many other people having a voice, it's just gotten so out of order and so crazy to see. But honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. People don't take him seriously, or they don't take any of these comments seriously. I think it's just a joke, really. And eventually, it's just India. Eventually, just Ashwin and Akshar Patel being amazing spinners and just getting wickets in the first ball they bowl. It's just amazing to watch.
It was actually, it was getting a bit too much as an Indian. I'm like, we also went through a lot of nonsense. I'll tell you one example that happened. This was happening in um, Australia when we played them in 2020, when Virat Kohli was playing for a one Test match and he was going back home,
Oh
and
yeah,
we got all out for 36, bro.
yeah,
36, and we
yep,
never once blamed the pitch. We never
exactly,
once blamed the Australian groundsmen. Oh, why did they create a bowling attack and all this,
exactly,
all that? We blamed the batsman for not playing well.
exactly,
We all wanted Ravi Shastri to go. I tweeted that. I was really angry that you can't, as a professional side, get out on 36.
exactly.
Yes,
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
Virat Virat Kohli went, and we obviously turned around the series, and that's a different topic altogether because I was outstanding by what we did.
yeah,
Even when the English players didn't criticize the pitch. You have to get that right. English players didn't criticize the pitch. Someone has said
after the first
Pakistan
set.
is okay. Someone has commented Pakistan is better than India in terms of
Oh
cricket.
yeah.
In terms of cricket, I don't think so, bro. In
Well,
terms of cricket,
this will just keep happening now. This will just keep happening. Wherever you have Indian Pakistani talking cricket, this will happen.
it's fine to have a conversation, but you have to look at
Yeah.
reality also. With the fact that
Oh yeah. I mean, the
Indian,
past couple of years we've been abysmal. We've been
he's
below
like
par.
he's like cricket and nuclear missiles, bro. That's a different topic.
It
You
really
can't
is. Yeah.
speak like that now.
Oh
We're
yeah.
talking about cricket. Still,
Wherever you have an Indian Pakistani talking cricket, this will happen.
yeah.
I don't
Let's
know if you've
talk
seen
about
YouTube
cricket.
videos and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, please talk about cricket. I would appreciate that. So I was saying when we lost to Australia and we came back over there 2-1, the Australian media praised us, for example, yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
saying that the England players, for example, they didn't criticize the pitch. They were not saying anything. But the
Yeah.
England media, the England ex-players, the legends, in fact, they were saying, "Oh, it's a
I know.
bad pitch to bat on," and stuff like that. In the second Test match, I will give an example. Rohit Sharma was the only player who scored 160 in that
Exactly.
match. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we bowled England out for I think for maybe like 130, 140. And then the second innings, we were about to give them a lead to chase. And then what happened was we were 100 for 6. And Ashwin was
Yeah.
batting with Virat Kohli, and Ashwin scored 100. And Ashwin is
Exactly.
a
There you go.
bowler, he's an all rounder.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and then when these guys came out, England again, they really sucked. The third
Yeah.
Test match, I would agree with the fact that it was too much spin. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Exactly.
lie, we won. That's it. You come to our house. You come to our house. We're gonna
Yeah. You prepare for the conditions like the best you
exactly.
can.
And this guy's like, okay, this guy's name is so weird. Can you read his name? Just read his name.
One. Oh my God.
Don't say. Okay, he's saying the wicket was unplayable, not good for the
Yeah.
spectators. People want to see big scores. Yeah, that's true, man. That is completely true, and that's completely honest.
Yeah.
That people want to see a
The third
fight.
test pitch can be questioned. Third test pitch can be questioned.
Yeah, but the
But
fourth
the
one
rest
definitely not. No, fourth one was no way.
Yeah,
This
fourth
one, the
one was
one.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, man, Pant scored 100. Washington Sundar, all round, a new player scoring almost 100. He was 96 not out. And I
Exactly.
was
Yeah.
like, shh. And Rishabh Pant scored a reverse sweep 4 on James Anderson's ball with a new ball. I'm like, how is he doing
Yeah. It
this?
was crazy.
Everyone is shocked. Everyone, including the bowlers, like, what did he just do? And James Anderson is one of the best bowlers ever. Like 600
Exactly.
wickets.
Yeah.
He's the
You saw him in the
only.
first test, like he was still swinging the ball in the first test.
Yeah,
He
exactly. And he's
saw how good he was.
39, bro. He's so good.
Yeah,
And it's just unreal that even a guy like him was taking wickets like of legends, man. And
yeah,
it's really amazing that he has become like Pant was unreal. Like you can see him being an X factor for India, but you need to give him time. The problem
definitely. Yeah,
with Pakistan, I always say that they don't give the young players enough time to develop. Like
yeah, it
Mohammad
always
Amir,
happens.
for example, he's such a good bowler, and he has a problem with the what do you say with the board or whatever. But you have to give him time. You have to be patient with him. You have, little like Rishabh Pant, he was not even there in the squad for Australia. He was not even
Yeah,
playing there, and he suddenly got a chance and he scored. So even like your one of your fast bowlers, Shaheen Afridi, I love that guy. He's such a good
yeah,
bowler, but you
he's
need to take
amazing.
in
Yeah.
time with him.
Yeah, I know what we
Uh,
do is that but the thing is like I'm gonna speak of both. I'm gonna speak of Rishabh Pant and like what Pakistan do. I think Pakistan should learn with how India treated Rishabh Pant because
yeah.
initially when he was to come and play, he used to like play with some rash shots. He used to get out on bad deliveries and stuff. And every time it happened, the fans used to chant Dhoni Dhoni, which is just so annoying for an up and
It's
coming
so
young
irritating,
player. So irritating. Even though like Dhoni should be respected for what he did, but
Yeah.
chanting that to him, telling him that we don't want you and we still want Dhoni instead is really discouraging for a young player. And the fact that India did not lose hope in him, they still kept him, they still kept grooming him, they still kept supporting him, and now he's delivering for India. That's exactly the
Hmm.
thing we should do. We saw it in the same shot come in one test match. He took a hat trick against Bangladesh at home. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, he's like the new big thing." Then he had one bad series in Australia. I mean, when you go to Australia and play against Australia with an inexperienced side, I mean, like, what else did you expect? But no, they did the same with him. They did the same with Muhammad Hussain and so many other players. Like the thing was with Muhammad Amr is a bit different, but I mean, yeah, he has problems with the board and stuff. Not of being selected, but because they're either playing him too much or all these other factors. But
But he's a
that's like a
premium
whole other
fast bowler.
story.
He's your best fast bowler right
He
now.
is, yeah, especially like. And here's the thing, okay, people always bring up like irrelevant things about him. Okay, like he fixed or he did this or he did that, but he's always been a big match player. He's always performed in
Correct.
the T20 World Cup final, in the Champions Trophy final, and semi-final.
Yeah.
Every time like in the T20 World Cup, whenever we had a big game, he always delivered. He always performed. But again, like 1-2 bad series, like in the PSL, okay, like he got hit for fours by inside edges, and people are like, oh my god, like, I mean, like point proven, like he's so bad and he's so shit and all that. So I think with Pakistan is like we're just so impatient. We see one player perform well and then we drop them. We
But
see
PS,
Sarfraz Ahmed.
we just said you're talking about PSL that he got edges and he got for a four and stuff. But
Yeah,
it's a T20 league.
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Like even Bumrah, for example, our premium fast
people
bowler, he gets
literally
hit for
celebrate.
sixes. I mean, it's okay.
Exactly. And people who have an agenda against certain players, they see these small performances, these small missed performances in like small matches like these, and they just go like, "Oh my God, point four from." And you see, like, I've always wanted this player to, not be in the team, and
Yeah.
this is why. So this is the thing about us fans is like, and we've had this problem with so many players. We've had this problem with Sarfaraz Ahmed. We've had this problem with like I can't even think, with almost every player. Like initially when players like what's it called, like players like Muhammad Rizwan, who's consistently performing now. Like I remember, like when initially he came in the team in 2015, 2016, he had his bad days, he had his good days, and so people were like, he's just another overhyped player, just never have him again. But now he's performing consistently for us. So I think like we should learn from these things that just give a player some time, give a player some more experience. Not just like put them in the team and then have them misperform and then drop them again forever. So this inconsistencies and stuff is what's really hurting us right now.
Yeah, I mean, this guy again, I won't repeat his name. I'll just read his comment. Cricket has a higher value than other sports. It's difficult to play with a tainted name. Bro, he did something that was a long time ago. He
Exactly.
he served his time for 5 years, and he was an
Exactly. Yeah.
18-year-old kid, and he came back at 23, and he was ripping India off in the Asia Cup. I remember I was
Yeah.
scared of him. I was like, oh
Not in the
my
Asia
god.
Cup, even in the T20 World Cup. Even in the
Yeah, he
T20 World Cup
was.
that followed, he took two quick wickets against India.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was.
he
And
is always. And here's the thing, okay? We I think we're so we take these players for granted. We take performance for granted. Might not be as good as he was then. So, no, so we're not selecting Amir. Might not. Okay, Amir might have lost his form, but we forget that these players delivered when we wanted them to deliver the most. It's because of players like Amir Safra, Fakhar Zaman that we won the Champions Trophy in 2017.
yeah,
It's because of
for sure.
players like Nasir Jamshid who became absolutely abysmal later on in his career. But it's because of players like him that we won the India series in 2012, 2013. It's because of so many players who are not performing right now when they delivered when they had to and we won big matches and we won big tournaments. But again, I guess we as a nation are just so ungrateful, or we just take these
No,
victories for granted, and yeah, I don't
yeah,
know what's up with us. Honestly, don't know what's
I
up with us
think
as hockey fans
I
because
think with Mohammad
he's,
Amir, I would just say one thing that he was unbelievable in the final. Um,
yeah, because he had a terrible tournament. You know, he had gone wicketless throughout the first couple of matches, and his
and
first wicket
finally
came
took
in.
2 wickets,
No, the
man.
first wicket came in the semifinal. His first wicket came in the
Yeah,
semifinal against England, and then in the final he just ripped through the India's top order. So
yeah. I
like
was.
this is the kind of thing.
It is like when you see your team lose in such a bad way, you have to put your hands up and say that you know what Pakistan needed. I think at that time Pakistan were more hungrier to
Yeah,
prove that
definitely.
at that particular time, and India's squad was aging because you had Yuvraj Singh, you had Dhoni,
Yeah,
and like you needed to go. Like Yuvraj Singh obviously was not at his prime, but Dhoni could have done a difference at that time. But
exactly.
we lost, and we accept that. It was one of the most embarrassing
Yeah,
losses of our like in history. But we lost. It's okay. It happens. It's football.
yeah, it
Sorry,
happens.
it's cricket. It's sports. This guy has again commented he can still be impressive, but he will only be remembered for one thing. Unfortunately, same with Smith and Bancroft. I think if real cricket fans who really love the game will never ever associate him with that incident. They will talk
Exactly.
about it, but they will
Yeah.
not just keep mentioning he's a cheater, he's a cheater. Even like Smith, bro. Smith
Dude, Smith has done
did
so
something.
much after that. Smith has
Exactly.
done so much after he came back that people sometimes almost forget the fact that he was involved in that. That's how
Yeah.
much he's done for
You
Australia and for
can
cricket in general.
imagine for Smith, he comes back and his comeback, one of the comeback series is the Ashes, and he scored
Yeah,
500 runs and he was unbelievable. As a
exactly.
batsman,
Yeah,
he was amazing. So you have to give them
exactly.
credit when they play. Yes, they made a mistake. They got banned for a year. That's a
Exactly.
big
They
thing for a
served their
professional
mistake and they
cricketer.
came back. Yeah, exactly.
And I
So
think people
true.
need to learn to forgive people. I think after they
Exactly.
served and especially with the pandemic, learn to be more kind and to be
Yeah,
more
I know.
forgiving. And it's very important, because
Yeah,
like I get it what he's saying that you will be just remembered for that, but at the end of the day, it's finished, it's done. And he
it's
and he
done.
is
And then
Australia's
we had
greatest batsman.
exactly. He is Australian batsman. David Warner was like the replacement of Matthew Hayden in a way, another
Yeah.
left-handed explosive top order batsman. And players like Muhammad Amir was just again like he just like what he did after his ban. People still remember him for that. Probably people like this guy might just remember him for that one incident and might
But
not
that's
want him
wrong.
forever. But I know, yeah, it's wrong, but unfortunately, you have people like that all the time. You have no idea how much I've seen. Like some of these Pakistani fans can get super toxic. There was a time people were siding. Like there was a time when Misbah and Afridi used to play, and half the fans used to be like Afridi crazy, half the fans used to despise him. And I was like,
Mhm.
why can't you just find a middle ground? Like support them when they're in the team. Okay, criticize them when they don't play good. But no, they were like Afridi will, even though he performed so many times for us, they were like, yeah, but he lost so many matches for us, so screw him and all that. And they did the same with Misbah player. He's just a slow player. He's this, he's that. Like he's lost so many matches for us. So what if he's been one of our most successful Test captains? So some of these fans in Pakistan are really, you could say, unforgiving and ungrateful for the talents we've always had.
But yeah, what's done is done, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
With regarding the PSL, do you think it's gonna happen this year? Like, let's be honest, I don't think it's gonna happen. Do you think?
I have no idea. I hope it kind of gets resumed like the next month or something, but I have no idea whatsoever right now. From what I've heard is that players have all gone for being vaccinated, and once you get vaccinated, you need like a couple of weeks to get
Yeah.
your arms like back like out of that vaccine phase again. So it's going to be a long time, but I hope it kind of gets resumed in the next couple of months. But honestly, I don't really think so right now.
It's a pretty tough time for Pakistan cricket actually, with this things going on. The person is committed. It will have to happen. There's a lot of money on it. That is
Yeah, it's
true.
a huge financial loss for us for it not to have happening. So I hope it does happen probably in the next month or the month after. But yeah, I just hope it happens. That's what I can say.
But the thing is that now, okay, when it happens, they need to conduct a investigation as to who was responsible or who are
Yeah,
responsible for this. Because if suppose if it happens and again a mistake happens, then I don't think anyone will come to the country again. They need to be very careful with this. But it's
definitely.
like
Yeah,
it's like your brand being tainted with
tarnish. Exactly,
exactly,
tarnish in
yeah,
such a terrible
and
way. Yeah,
and in a
because
very bad way, in a very like distrust way, you know,
exactly. Yeah,
and
because like where have you heard something like this happen before? like cricket coming back to a nation, and then
Yeah.
something of this sort happening, where people from other countries are wondering like, oh, like is my cricketer in that country safe or not?
Hmm.
So it's a huge like tarnishing image for it.
My brother just said, "ये लोग कैसे आ गए?" And that's the exact reaction of all Pakistanis. कि ये लोग कैसे आ गए? कि मतलब, and I heard that there were weddings happening at that hotel, so that's what I'm referring to. ये लोग कैसे आ गए? You can't do that.
Probably, I
How
think
can
so.
you? How can you? How can you
If that's true,
allow?
then that's if that's true, then that's shocking. I did not hear of this before, but if that really was happening, then that's absolutely shocking for it to happen. Like
Okay, this guy's
weddings and other
commented.
events taking place in that hotel.
So we're gonna wrap up the show here.
Definitely,
This is the last question. The problem is the IPL. They have to do it before. Bro, I'll just tell you one simple thing here.
this
IPL
guy's
is
trolling.
happening in
This
no,
guy's
no,
just
it's
trolling.
no, no. He's concerned about Pakistan cricket. And I agree with that. But IPL didn't ask PCB to screw it up over here. We didn't ask Pakistan to screw it up. Pakistan screwed it up
That's,
themselves.
I think it means
And
that the IPL happened right before to show the world how to, host like a tournament. And
yeah,
now
but
we
the
fail to
foreign
host a
players will go
tournament.
to
I
but the
think
foreign
yeah,
players
like
will go to
this is
India.
what it means.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, right
but
after this, yeah, they're going for the IPL right after this.
yeah, exactly. And I think when suppose if it happens during the IPL, for example, maybe because if IPL happens, I don't think anyone will see the PSL because foreign players will come to IPL and there won't be any attraction because if suppose foreign players go to IPL, for example, and they do it after the IPL, that's a
Yeah,
possibility that can happen. But will the foreign players would want to come back? They would now.
that is the thing. Yeah,
It's a big trust issue.
big letdown. That's a big letdown. Yeah. I just hope, like, okay, the PSL might get cancelled, but I genuinely hope this does not affect like the other tours that are happening to Pakistan because even though this is like the first like such incident happening in such a long time, we've hosted South Africa so well. We've hosted Sri Lanka in 2019. We've hosted Bangladesh after that. Last year we even hosted Zimbabwe, and I don't remember, but yeah, we've been hosting like countries like like on a regular basis since like 2018. So I hope like the other tours still happen, like the England tour and the Australia tour continues to happen.
Yeah, man, this guy's committed again. He's saying that I know. I mean, if the PSL has to continue, it will have to be before IPL. Otherwise, it will be pointless. The reason why people watch PSL is because IPL is not on. You're bang on right for that, my friend.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, but
And another
it's
reason I think because, and don't get me wrong, no offense to the IPL or stuff, but I feel like the IPL is just too long that people just watch it initially and then they just wait for the playoffs, or they wait for like the playoff like competition, like who makes it to the playoff instead of watching each and every game day by day. Whereas with the PSL, you have only 6 teams, so you have 34 matches happening within a month. So I think that's one of the reasons why people really watch leagues like the PSL.
yeah. I
They're
mean,
just short and done in a month.
it's much shorter than IPL for sure. But I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope everything gets fine in Pakistan in
I
terms
hope
of
so
the
too. Yeah,
PSL because that's what Pakistani fans want. And
exactly.
I
Yeah,
think it's I think it's a grim reminder for everyone that don't take COVID
lightly at
lightly. Yeah,
all,
just
at all.
be
Yeah,
careful. Yeah, take it seriously.
yeah.
Otherwise you can see what happens. So thank you so much, Mustafa, for joining me. It's been an
Thanks for
absolute
having me
pleasure.
too. No,
And people
it
who are
was
seeing
great
this,
too.
please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And the guy who just commented all, please do subscribe. We're gonna do much more cricket. What do you say? Talks over here. Take care, everyone. God bless and stay safe. See
Take
you,
care.
brother.
See y'all.